What's up, everybody? There is only one bull left in this housing market forecast world still standing, and that is Zillow. Zillow still thinks that U.S. prices will rise another 7.8% between July of 2022 and June of 2023. Mind you, this is the fourth consecutive month that Zillow has issued a downward revision. Last month, Zillow forecasted a 9.7% increase over the next 12 months. CoreLogic's updated forecast just came out, as well as some other industry insiders, and some of them have a very different opinion. We'll look at an article posted this week on Business Insider that actually may shock you. So let's take a deeper look into why Zillow is still so bullish and what the other industry insiders are saying. Let's just dive right in. First, let's take a look at the latest from CoreLogic that was posted on August 2nd that shows their forecast from June of 2022 to June of 2023. For the June 2022 stats, home prices nationwide, including distressed sales, increased year over year by 18.3% in June of 2022 compared to June of 2021. Home prices increased by 0.6% in June of 2022 from May of 2022. And as far as their national forecast, the CoreLogic HBI forecast indicates that home prices will increase on a month-over-month basis by 0.6% from June 2022 to July 2022, and on a year-over-year basis by 4.3% from June of 2022 to June of 2023. So they downgraded their forecast once again, which we did expect. Last month, CoreLogic reported that home prices will increase on a month-over-month basis by 1% from May 2022 to June of 2022, and on a year-over-year basis of 5% from May of 2022 to June of 2023. So they went from 5% to 4.3% over the next 12 months. So they still have home prices appreciating over the next 12 months, unlike some of the others. José Torres, the senior economist at Interactive Brokers, has a very different opinion. He recently told Business Insider that within the next few years, home prices could drop up to 25%, and that they will begin to decline in the beginning of 2023, which could see double-digit drops in prices. At this point, housing is unreachable when considering household incomes and individual incomes. The percentage of the average monthly payment to household incomes and individual incomes is at record highs, similar to levels we saw during the 2008 financial crisis. Torres said that he believes this created the perfect storm in real estate that will see a severe pullback in prices. We're going to see something very similar to what we saw during the great financial crisis in terms of price declines, he said. So we have very different opinions on the future of the housing market. Where do you land? Do you see an imminent crash coming like Torres, or do you see more of an ongoing correction until we can get inflation under control? Definitely give us your comments below and tell us where you're located in the country so we can have a bit of perspective. Let's take a closer look and see how regional home prices are expected to shift over the coming year according to Zillow and CoreLogic. First, let's take a look at Zillow's forecast in conjunction with Lance Lambert's article in Fortune. Take a look at this map provided by Lance Lambert using Zillow as the source. How regional prices are expected to shift over the coming year. According to Zillow, expected shift from July 2022 to June of 2023. Among the 911 regional housing markets that Zillow economists analyzed, 906 are predicted to have rising home prices between July 2022 and June of 2023. Zillow only expects 5 markets to have year-over-year price decline. The biggest forecasted decline being Greenville, Mississippi, with a 6.4% projected price decline. Over the coming year, Zillow predicts 741 markets will see a price growth of 5% or bigger, while 136 markets are forecasted to see year-over-year price growth of 10% or greater. This includes markets like Athens, Georgia, 10.3% forecasted growth, Durango, Colorado, 10.3%, Grenada, Mississippi, 10.3%, Fort Myers, Florida, 10.2%, and Morristown, Tennessee, 10.2%. It looks like they're predicting that the DC area will have 4% growth over the next year. I guess we'll see. What do you think? Is your area on this map? If it is, please definitely let us know if you think Zillow is right. Side note, they do say that some of this data may have a 30 to 60 60-day lag time if the sales in June and July are now going to close in August and September. This is very different from Moody's Analytics forecast over the next 2 years, which we spoke about in last week's video. Just in case you missed it, or to refresh your memory, Mark Zandi of Moody's Analytics believes that price appreciation will head to 0 nationally over the next 12 months. When looking at the map provided by Lambert and Moody's Analytics on a regional level, Moody's Analytics sees about half the nation experiencing falling home prices. Among the nation's largest 414 housing markets, Moody's Analytics predicts that 204 of them will see prices rising over the next 2 years. Meanwhile, Moody's Analytics thinks that 210 will see falling home prices over the next 2 years. The steepest decline, Zandi says, will come in markets like Austin and Boise that are significantly overvalued relative to underlying economic fundamentals. If a recession comes, he thinks that these markets could see prices fall from around 15 to 20%. Looks like they have the DC area at negative 1.33 over the next 2 years. Switching over to CoreLogic's latest data. They start with the present data showing that home prices have increased 18.3% year over year. The states with the highest increases year over year were Florida, 31.8%, Tennessee, 25.8%, Arizona, 24.9%, North Carolina, 24.7%, South Carolina, 23.5%, South Dakota, 22.9%, Georgia, 22.9%, Nevada, 22.2%, Texas, 19.5%, and Arkansas, 19.5%. Those are some serious numbers. It is crazy what's happened over the last year. And as far as cities, Phoenix tops the list of home appreciation at 26.1% year over year. So does that mean that these places are going to fall the hardest? Well, let's take a look at CoreLogic's top markets at risk of home price decline. The CoreLogic Market Risk Indicator, the MRI, a monthly update of the overall health of the housing markets across the country, predicts that Bremerton, Silverdale, Washington is at a very high risk, 70% or more probability of a decline in home prices over the next 12 months. The rest of the top 5 are Bellingham, Washington, very high, 50 to 75%. Boise City, Idaho, very high. Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, Destin, Florida, very high. And Olympia, Tumwater, Washington, very high, above 70% probability of a price decline. So are any of you located in any of these areas? If you are, please comment below and let us know if you think if they're right or not. We get the best information from you guys because you're actually living in these places. So to sum it up, we can all agree that no one agrees on the future of the housing market. As I always say, real estate is very localized. So what's happening in my area is not necessarily what's happening in your area. That being said, we can't deny that the entire country is in the middle of a pretty dramatic housing correction compared to where we were just a few months ago. So whatever side of the argument you're on, there is something we can all agree on. The housing market is slowing down. That could mean a continued correction until it stabilizes, or it could mean an impending crash if Americans just can't afford their homes due to economic conditions. Comment below and let's start a discussion. Please keep it civilized. We all have our opinions, and honestly, I think it's really important that we all express them so we can see what's really happening in our country. But I will not put up with anybody who's rude or crass. It's just not important to this conversation. I hope you do get some value out of these housing market updates. It's a lot of work, but I really think it's important to provide you with the latest information so you can make the best decisions for you and your family. If you are getting some value and you want to show our channel some support, consider liking this video, commenting below, and subscribing to our channel. It does help us with the YouTube algorithm and motivates us to make more videos. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. And if you want to see other housing market videos, just check out these two. Until next time, bye!